What if Earth's ecosystems begin collapsing faster than scientists predicted? Climate change is silently transforming every corner of our planet today. Rising temperatures disrupt natural systems that have existed for millions of years. Entire habitats are shifting due to unpredictable weather patterns worldwide. Animals struggle adapting as their environments rapidly lose stability everywhere. Polar ice melting accelerates sea level rise across continents globally. Coral reefs face bleaching events caused by warming ocean waters. Forests experience increased wildfires, destroying biodiversity at alarming rates. Rivers dry up faster, affecting freshwater ecosystems and species survival. Climate shifts force migration patterns among many terrestrial animals. Food chains become unstable when key species decline unexpectedly. Insects expand into new regions, altering local ecological balances. Oceans absorb excess carbon, increasing acidification and marine stress. Wetlands shrink as rising heat and drought conditions intensify. Desertification spreads, turning fertile land into barren ecosystems gradually. Species extinction rates increase as habitats become increasingly uninhabitable. Climate instability affects reproduction cycles of many wildlife species. Melting glaciers reduce water supplies for downstream ecosystems significantly. Invasive species thrive under changing climate conditions across regions. Ocean currents shift, altering nutrient distribution across marine environments. Bird migration routes change due to shifting seasonal patterns. Soil degradation worsens as heat and erosion increase globally. Permafrost thaw releases greenhouse gases, intensifying global warming feedback. Agricultural ecosystems suffer reduced productivity under extreme climate stress. Freshwater lakes warm faster, disrupting aquatic life cycles severely. Extreme storms damage coastal ecosystems and nearby human settlements. Biodiversity hotspots face increased threats from climate-driven disturbances. Mountain ecosystems shift upward as temperatures continue to rise. Heat waves stress wildlife populations beyond their natural tolerance limits. Ocean oxygen levels decline, affecting marine species' survival rates. Climate change amplifies natural disasters, affecting ecosystems worldwide rapidly. Rainfall patterns become unpredictable, disrupting plant growth cycles globally. Tundra ecosystems face irreversible changes due to warming trends. Human activities worsen climate impacts, accelerating ecosystem degradation processes. Forest species migrate or disappear as climates shift rapidly. Marine biodiversity declines as coral reef systems collapse globally. Glacial retreat reshapes landscapes and destroys specialized habitat networks. Climate-driven droughts significantly reduce ecosystem resilience across affected regions. Species interactions change as environmental conditions become increasingly unstable. Wetland loss impacts migratory birds and aquatic organisms severely. Rising sea levels inundate coastal habitats and biodiversity zones. Climate change reduces ecosystem services essential for human survival. Temperature fluctuations severely disrupt breeding patterns of sensitive species. Ecosystem fragmentation increases rapidly as habitats become increasingly disconnected. Alpine species face extinction as snow cover diminishes globally. Ocean warming triggers migration of fish populations toward poles. Climate change significantly alters predator-prey relationships within many ecosystems. Soil moisture loss affects plant growth and agricultural stability. Ecosystems become less resilient as disturbances occur more frequently. Coral bleaching events reduce habitat complexity in marine ecosystems. Climate change severely threatens keystone species, destabilizing entire ecosystems. Heat stress reduces reproductive success among many wildlife populations. Freshwater scarcity intensifies conflicts between ecosystems and human needs. Climate change rapidly reshapes food availability across terrestrial ecosystems. Ocean acidification significantly weakens shell-forming organisms and coral structures. Wildfires release carbon emissions that further accelerate climate change. Climate change disrupts seasonal cues essential for ecosystem balance. Habitat destruction combined with climate change threatens global biodiversity. Extreme weather events increase stress on fragile ecological systems. Climate change drives long-term shifts in global ecosystem structure. Species distribution patterns change rapidly due to shifting climates. Melting ice caps affect global ocean circulation and ecosystems. Climate impacts compound over time, creating irreversible ecosystem damage. Human intervention becomes crucial to mitigate ecosystem collapse risks. Understanding climate effects helps protect Earth's fragile ecosystems globally. What happens when ecosystems can no longer support human civilization? Climate change is now directly reshaping human survival conditions globally. Ecosystem collapse leads to food insecurity across many vulnerable regions. Crop failures increase as rainfall patterns become highly unpredictable worldwide. Farmers struggle to adapt to rapidly changing growing seasons annually. Pest outbreaks become more frequent due to warmer climatic conditions. This destroys harvests and reduces global food supply significantly. Livestock systems suffer heat stress, reducing productivity and survival rates. Water scarcity intensifies competition between ecosystems and human agriculture systems. Rivers that once supported civilizations are now shrinking dramatically. Communities near forests face increased wildfire risks every summer. Air quality declines due to smoke and industrial carbon buildup. Human health is directly impacted by degraded ecosystem services globally. Disease spread increases as vectors expand into new climatic regions. Mosquito populations grow rapidly in warmer and wetter environments. This leads to higher risks of malaria and dengue outbreaks. Coastal cities face rising sea levels threatening infrastructure stability. Flooding events destroy homes and displace millions of people yearly. Ecosystem loss removes natural barriers that protect human settlements. Mangrove destruction increases vulnerability to storm surges and hurricanes. Coral reef decline reduces fish populations relied on for food. Many coastal communities lose their primary source of income. Climate refugees increase as habitats become unlivable and dangerous. Migration pressures create social and economic instability across nations. Water shortages trigger conflicts between neighboring regions and countries. Groundwater depletion worsens due to overuse and reduced recharge rates. Glacial melt disrupts long-term freshwater availability for millions downstream. Ecosystem degradation reduces natural carbon storage capacity significantly worldwide. Forest destruction releases stored carbon back into atmosphere rapidly. This accelerates global warming in a dangerous feedback loop. Wildlife-human conflict increases as animals move into urban areas. Bears, elephants, and other species enter human settlements more frequently. This creates danger for both humans and displaced wildlife. Biodiversity loss weakens ecosystem stability and resilience against disasters. Fewer species means less ability to recover from disturbances. Ecosystem imbalance affects pollination, seed dispersal, and plant reproduction. This reduces forest regeneration and long-term ecological sustainability worldwide. Coral reef fisheries collapse affects millions dependent on seafood. Ocean warming reduces oxygen levels essential for marine survival. Dead zones expand where marine life cannot survive anymore. Climate change disrupts traditional ecological knowledge of indigenous communities. Cultural practices tied to ecosystems begin disappearing gradually over time. Economic losses increase as natural resources become scarce globally. Insurance costs rise due to climate-related environmental disasters frequently. Infrastructure damage from storms strains national economies significantly worldwide. Ecosystem restoration becomes more expensive and less effective over time. Species extinction removes critical functions from ecological networks permanently. Keystone species loss triggers cascading ecosystem failures rapidly across regions. Scientists warn of approaching planetary boundaries being crossed soon. Once crossed, recovery becomes extremely difficult, or even impossible. Human reliance on stable ecosystems is greater than ever before. Technology cannot fully replace ecosystem services provided by nature. Climate adaptation strategies are becoming urgent for global survival. Renewable energy reduces emissions, but ecosystem damage continues currently. Conservation efforts aim to preserve remaining biodiversity under pressure. Protected areas help, but cannot stop global climate impacts alone. International cooperation is essential to protect global ecosystems effectively. Education increases awareness about environmental responsibility and climate action. Sustainable development balances human needs with ecosystem preservation goals. Policy changes are required to limit further ecological destruction. Individual actions also contribute to reducing environmental stress globally. Ecosystems still have limited capacity for recovery if protected. Urgent intervention may still prevent worst-case ecological scenarios globally. Time is rapidly running out for effective ecosystem protection. The fate of ecosystems is tightly linked to human choices. Can damaged ecosystems still recover if humans act immediately now? Scientists believe restoration is possible, but time is extremely limited. Reforestation projects help rebuild forests and restore lost biodiversity slowly. Planting native tree species strengthens ecosystem resilience against climate stress. Restored forests absorb carbon dioxide and reduce atmospheric warming effects. Wetland restoration improves water filtration and supports aquatic life recovery. Mangrove planting protects coastlines from storms and rising sea levels. Coral reef restoration projects aim to rebuild damaged marine habitats. Artificial reefs provide structures for marine life to recolonize areas. Marine protected zones allow ecosystems to recover without human interference. Reducing carbon emissions is essential to stabilize global temperatures quickly. Renewable energy sources like solar and wind reduce fossil fuel dependence. Sustainable agriculture improves soil health and reduces environmental degradation impacts. Crop rotation helps maintain soil nutrients and long-term productivity stability. Water conservation techniques reduce pressure on already stressed freshwater ecosystems. Efficient irrigation systems prevent unnecessary water loss in agriculture fields. Wildlife corridors reconnect fragmented habitats, allowing safe animal migration routes. These corridors improve genetic diversity and ecosystem stability over time. Conservation programs protect endangered species from complete extinction risks globally. Captive breeding programs help rebuild populations of critically endangered animals. Rewilding projects reintroduce species to restore ecological balance naturally. Ecosystem monitoring uses satellites and sensors to track environmental changes. Early warning systems help prevent irreversible ecological damage from spreading. Community-based conservation involves local people in protecting natural ecosystems. Indigenous knowledge plays a key role in sustainable ecosystem management. Education programs raise awareness about environmental protection and climate action. Governments implement policies to reduce pollution and protect ecosystems. International agreements aim to limit global temperature rise effectively. Carbon pricing encourages industries to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Green infrastructure integrates natural systems into urban planning designs. Urban forests improve air quality and reduce city heat effects. Sustainable fishing practices help maintain marine biodiversity and fish populations. Banning destructive fishing methods protects fragile underwater ecosystems globally. Plastic reduction policies prevent ocean pollution and marine species harm. Recycling programs reduce waste accumulation in natural environments significantly. Soil restoration techniques rebuild fertility in degraded agricultural lands. Climate-resilient crops improve food security under changing environmental conditions. Scientists develop drought-resistant plant varieties for future agriculture stability. Ecosystem-based adaptation uses nature to protect human communities effectively. Protecting biodiversity ensures long-term survival of ecological systems worldwide. Restoring predator populations helps balance natural food chains properly. Healthy ecosystems regulate climate and support human life systems. Forest conservation prevents carbon release and maintains ecological stability. Ocean cleanup initiatives reduce plastic pollution, harming marine ecosystems. Sustainable tourism encourages conservation while supporting local economies responsibly. Ecological research guides better environmental decision-making globally today. Climate education empowers individuals to take meaningful environmental action. Small lifestyle changes collectively reduce global environmental pressure significantly. Energy efficiency reduces carbon footprints across households and industries worldwide. Smart cities use technology to minimize environmental impact effectively. Ecosystem restoration requires long-term commitment and continuous global effort. Collaboration between nations strengthens environmental protection strategies globally. Public awareness drives political action on climate change issues. Innovation in green technology supports sustainable ecosystem recovery efforts. Nature-based solutions provide cost-effective environmental protection methods. Restored ecosystems improve human health and well-being significantly. Biodiversity conservation ensures ecosystem stability for future generations. Climate adaptation reduces vulnerability of both nature and society. Protecting ecosystems today safeguards tomorrow's planetary balance. urgent action can still reverse some ecological damage impacts. Hope remains if global cooperation strengthens environmental efforts now. Every restored ecosystem becomes a step toward planetary healing. Sustainable choices shape the future of Earth's ecosystems. Humanity holds responsibility for rest. What future awaits Earth if ecosystems finally reach irreversible collapse? The final warning signs of climate change are already visible globally. Ecosystems that once thrived are now struggling for survival daily. Every species lost creates a gap in ecological balance forever. Nature's interconnected web is weakening under continuous environmental pressure. Scientists emphasize that time for meaningful action is rapidly shrinking. Humanity stands at a critical turning point for planetary survival. Either we protect ecosystems or face irreversible global consequences. The planet continues responding to decades of human exploitation impacts. Ice sheets retreat while oceans expand into vulnerable coastal zones. Forests that once stored carbon now release it back. Wildlife populations decline faster than they can naturally recover. Ecosystem collapse is no longer a distant theoretical scenario. It is unfolding gradually in real time across continents. Every environmental disruption adds stress to already fragile systems. Climate change magnifies natural disasters beyond historical recorded levels. Hurricanes grow stronger, floods become more destructive each year. Droughts last longer, leaving ecosystems dry and lifeless longer. Human activity continues accelerating environmental degradation at alarming rates. Yet solutions still exist if implemented with urgency globally. Renewable energy adoption can significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Forest protection helps stabilize climate and restore biodiversity systems. Restoring wetlands improves resilience against floods and rising seas. Marine conservation preserves essential ocean life supporting global food. Sustainable practices reduce pressure on Earth's remaining natural systems. Education empowers individuals to make environmentally responsible decisions daily. Governments must enforce stronger environmental protection laws worldwide immediately. Industries must transition toward cleaner production methods and technologies. Innovation drives new solutions for restoring damaged ecosystems effectively. Communities working together can rebuild degraded environments successfully. Indigenous stewardship offers valuable lessons for sustainable ecosystem management. Conservation success stories prove recovery is still achievable today. Rewilding projects show nature can regenerate when protected properly. Biodiversity protection ensures stability across entire ecological networks globally. Climate resilience grows stronger when ecosystems are preserved carefully. Every tree planted contributes to long-term environmental restoration efforts. Every species saved strengthens Earth's natural balance systems again. Ecosystems provide essential services humans cannot replace artificially ever. Clean air, water, and food depend on healthy ecosystems. Without nature, human survival itself becomes increasingly uncertain globally. The relationship between humans and Earth must be rebalanced. Exploitation must shift toward responsibility and environmental stewardship urgently. Future generations depend on decisions made in this moment. Climate action is not optional, but absolutely necessary now. Delayed action increases irreversible damage to global ecosystems rapidly. Restoration efforts require global cooperation and sustained commitment always. Science provides clear guidance for reversing environmental degradation trends. Nature has resilience, but only within certain limits. Crossing ecological thresholds leads to permanent environmental transformation risks. Humanity still has time to change its destructive path. Collective action can still protect remaining biodiversity on Earth. Ecosystem recovery depends on immediate and sustained global efforts. Hope exists where awareness transforms into meaningful climate action. Responsibility lies equally with individuals, corporations, and governments. Protecting ecosystems is protecting the future of civilization itself. Earth's survival story is still being written today. Every action taken now shapes tomorrow's ecological reality. The planet does not need humans, but humans need it. Sustainable coexistence is the only viable long-term solution forward. Climate change challenges us to rethink our global priorities. Ecosystems remind us of nature's fragile yet powerful balance. Healing the planet begins with understanding its interconnected systems. The Earth's voice is calling for urgent protection now. Humanity must choose restoration over destruction without further delay. The future of global ecosystems depends on what happens next.